Welcome to the Southeast edition of the Weekly Water Outlook. I'm John Feldt, and this is November 18th, 2012. This is the rain that fell across the entire nation last week. If you look at the Southeast U.S., there was some action over the region. Many areas received up to about a half inch, and some areas over an inch of rain. What you see here is you see some areas in green, and that indicated rainfall of about a half inch or more, and a very small area of a couple inches of rain right here as well. This has been this really distinct axis of rain, what we've seen for quite some time, where we've seen Mississippi and northern Alabama and the far northwest part of the state of Georgia receiving significant rain, and anything off to the southeast of that's been very dry. Now, South Carolina did receive some welcome rain this week, but everywhere else very dry and below normal rainfall patterns over the last 7 days. And you can see that as far as percent of normal rainfall, pretty much below normal rainfall over all of Florida, as well as South Georgia, and then a little bit above normal over South Carolina and also Mississippi and Alabama. I often show the drought monitor as a indicator of drought. And a drought monitor is based on impacts such as agriculture, stream flow, and such. The SPI is another index that we use. It's the Standardized Precipitation Index, and this is a 60-day SPI. This is on the top left. And this shows another way we can look at just consider rainfall. And the red is below normal, deepening or more extensive negative SPIs. And you can see that over the southern parts of Alabama through Georgia and South Carolina, deeper conditions than further north. And this lines pretty well with the U.S. Drought Monitor. Now this week, a number of things going on across the nation, including enhanced precipitation over the Pacific Northwest. About the only thing that really to look at for the Southeast U.S. is we have an upper system later this week, this system right here, and embedded in this flow there will be a very weak impulse of energy. And that impulse of energy will be moving from west to east. Now, the problem with the Southeast U.S. is it's going to be lifting up here to the northeast, and that's going to be north of our area here. So there will be some light amounts of rain, but unfortunately, because it's moving more up towards the northeast rather than to the east or the southeast, it's going to leave most of the region high and dry, and not a lot of rain. As far as teleconnections go, I wanted to point out the Arctic Oscillation. It's been running positive now for a while, and we do have these alternating periods that last maybe a couple weeks or so. It's been positive. That's above this line. At least for the next week, it looks like it's going to be fairly close to neutral, and then it's going to go into a negative range, perhaps as we get towards the end of the month into early December. That could change the pattern a bit at that time. It could deepen the trough over the eastern U.S. and have a transition period. But right now it doesn't look all that strong, so we'll have to see the way it goes. But at least for the immediate term, it looks fairly neutral as we go from the positive into the more of the middle type range. Precipitation, this is strictly from a model standpoint. I wanted to show week 1. No other way to say it. Just pure old dry over large parts of the Southeast U.S., many areas, no rain whatsoever. Week 2, I always mention on these models, week 2, you really begin to see the models flip-flop a little bit. As that Arctic Oscillation perhaps transitions, we could have a band of rain over the middle part of the country. But once again, other than Mississippi and parts of Alabama, most of the Southeast U.S. remains dry. So I think the story pretty much for the rest of the month, anywhere to the southeast of this line, well below normal precipitation. And to the northwest of this line, week 1 very dry, maybe week 2 some precipitation, but right now I'm not going to get too excited about this till I really see it confirmed by a number of model runs. The ENSO was updated this week, El Nino, La Nina, and pretty much there's a very strong model confidence right now of remaining neutral. Here's the latest reading. It's very close to 0.4, positive 0.4, and the cluster models pretty much keep it in the neutral range as we go through the winter months. I know I got a question this last week, what are the chances of going into La Nina? And at least from a model standpoint, Not a high chance at all. The blue is indicating what the models are saying. As we get through winter, you can see very low probabilities of slipping back into a La Nina. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it got down to minus 0.1 or so, but to get down to minus 0.5 right now is not likely. What we do see, though, is very high probabilities, this is the green, of neutral conditions as we go through the winter. So, we'll see how the models work out, but certainly they have a high confidence now of neutral conditions. As far as soil moisture goes, we don't see drastic changes this time of year, and any rain we get certainly is held in the soil much longer than we would in summertime. But with no rain, this is indicating light or low amounts of soil moisture changes or deficits over the next week or so across almost the entire Southeast U.S. So threats and trends over the next couple weeks, specifically the first week. I think the trend here is well below normal precipitation over the Southeast U.S., 25% or less. And I don't know how many ways I can say it. The takeaway points: continued dry soil moisture deficits throughout the week. Now, if you're not a subscriber to Blue Water Outlook, I urge you to consider subscribing. I do issue information throughout the week, and I will be issuing my December 1st newsletter very soon that will get into a lot more detail as far as climate and water. I want to thank all my subscribers. I wish them a happy Thanksgiving. I want to personally thank you for being a subscriber to Blue Water Outlook. I will be updating this in about a week. Thank you.